Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. We are here with episode 43 of our Winnipeg Jets Franchise Mode, and we are starting up the 2033-34 season. It's year number 10, if you want to think about it that way. And we've got some comments to go through in the last one if you missed out. First off, let's start with Alex, who says, "Thank you for the episode and an absolutely masterful offseason, A++." That's very kind praise coming from our veteran AGM in the comments down there. He says, "The big trade was perfect and as realistic as can be given the circumstances. However, free agency is where the GM really shone. The Backlund, Stanton, and Stahl, wow, what a find. Jones and UPL signings were all outstanding. Very creative and out-of-the-box thinking, as all three forwards are big, less than 27 years old, and we're not stealing any stars from other teams by bringing them in." So good job there. Well, thank you very much. And if you guys missed out on last episode, I'll just run through it really quickly. In free agency, after winning the Stanley Cup last year, we went and picked up Wade Stanton, a playmaker with great puck skills, great senses, things like that, good defense as well. We picked up Stefan Backlund on a 2-year, $5 million deal, who can shoot the puck. He is an absolute howitzer out there, so hopefully he can pot in some goals for us. And then we also picked up Colby Stoll, a power forward, just a big body to play on that fourth line, be rough and tough down there. He fits the bottom six immaculately, so that's great. And then on defense, we pick up Zach Jones, a 78 overall, and in goal, we pick up Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So a pretty busy free agency. Nobody that's, instrumental in our top six or anything like that, but still a big free agency nonetheless. In Alex's next comment, he gives some suggestions for some lineups and some pro scouting stuff. And so number one is essentially, unfortunately, Backlund has dropped in his potential. He's now a low top 9 forward. And this means while he's still a great player and a great signing with those shooting categories, maybe he's going to be taking away from Elliot Patrick's goal total. And we really do not want that. We want Elliot Patrick to have a real good season playing on the second line with Eric Dowd. Hopefully these two can get rolling. But it does mean that Stefan Backlund may have to take a bit of a back seat. And in return, we're going to send Quenneville or Bowmick perhaps up to the second line. Quenneville, a young guy who can maybe, shoot for that Calder Trophy perhaps if he can have a good season on the second line here. So those are his preseason stats. But yeah, I moved all these guys around. I had Backlund up on the second line for 2 games, then I had Quenneville up for 2 games, then I had Bowmick on the second line for 2 games, and then I switched it to this lineup for game number 7 in the preseason because I liked how these guys were performing best together. So these are the lines we're going to start the year with. But yeah, I think Alex was definitely right to point this out to me. Backlund, and as well, Backlund going to be able to play with Wade Stanton, who's a great passer, 93 passing, 5-star puck skills, and hopefully that will help out Backlund's goal total as well. Number 3 for Alex is trying to extend Bowmick. So let me go take a look at what he's asking for. I think he's asking for quite a bit right now just because he's medium elite and he's grown quite a lot in the off season. So let me just see real quick though. If he's in like the 2 mil range, 3 mil range, that would be nice. Okay, 1 year, 4 mil, and then it gets so crazy. $12 million for 8 years is insane. But yeah, I mean, we're not too worried about RFA status still, but we do want to get him signed on maybe halfway through the season. His demand will drop. I'll keep checking every 10 or so games. But yeah, I do think we'll try to get Bowmick signed on soon. Now, this is actually something that I kind of disagree with Alex on a little bit, but not the premise of his comment, but just how our solution should go. So, one of the reasons goalies have developed very slowly in Winnipeg and thrived elsewhere is the lack of prime opportunities as they grow very fast when they play in the NHL. As things stand, we have a lot of goalies at both levels, including 3 medium elite goalies in the AHL level, which makes no sense. And I do think that that's a bit too much for the AHL. One of these 3, they may very well be a long-term solution in net, but we may never find that out because they're not getting the chance to play in the NHL. So his solution is we should trade both Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Thomas Milic to teams that need help in net and start Silovs and Gunderson in the NHL and then Riley and Canzanello in the AHL, and then basically swap them out every 20 games. We start with Gunderson in the NHL for 20 games, then we go Riley for 20 games, then Canzanello for 20 games, and then see whoever the best was can come back up to the NHL. And the reason why I don't necessarily want to do this is because Gunderson is only 74 overall. Now, this overall is extremely low. He's not even listed as an AHL goalie, he's not even listed as an AHL backup or an AHL starter or anything like that. If we took a look at Thomas Milic, he's listed as a minor starting goalie, which means Gunderson is not even a minor starting goalie. I think he might get eaten alive alive in the NHL. And now, fair enough, maybe that's what he has to do to get better, but at the same time, that could really stunt his growth, both his potential and maybe even drop his overall. So I really don't know if bringing these guys up, they're such a low overall. I don't know if bringing them up is the right call, but I do think Gunderson can get at least some action in the NHL. The other two guys, though, I think are a little bit too low for my liking. 70 and 66 overall is just super low. So 74 is pushing it as well. Even 77 is pushing the NHL, right? So I think a 74 overall in the NHL could be a little disastrous, but I will give him a couple of starts here at the start of the season and see how he does. If he plays well, I'm not going to complain about his overall, right? If he plays well, then that's totally fine. And I don't care what his overall is if he's putting up over 900 save percentages and things like that. But we will take a look at that when we get there. So those are all the comments for this one, boys. And now it is time to start. But before we do so, everybody get out your calendar app in your phone right now, because we got some big time news. So 2033, October 31st. Mark it in your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Morrissey's jersey retirement ceremony. Number 44 is going to be going up in the rafters on this day, October 31st. And then similarly, in next episode, number 81 is going to be going up to the rafters when we play the Carolina Hurricanes at home on March 2nd. So 2034, March 2nd, and 2033, October 31st. On Halloween, those two legends are going to be in the building on those nights. And, who knows, maybe even Kyle Connor will come to Morrissey's retirement and vice versa. I'm sure they'll be happy to help each other out. So we're going to get started here. Game number 1 up against Anaheim. We have a very new team. We've got Quenneville playing second line time to debut in the NHL. We've got guys like Eric Dowd playing second line time for, consistently now throughout this entire season. We'll see how he does. We've got Elliot Patrick really going to be centering that second line. Our third liner is almost entirely new with Wade Stanton and Stefan Backlund out there. So we'll see how they perform together, and then seeing how Colby Stoll does on that fourth line. So let's get into it, boys. Anaheim, game number 1 of an 82 game schedule. Let's see if we can start off quickly here for this season. First period, that's going to be 1-0 for us, and it's Elliot Patrick on the power play. Our power play has been historic for the past 2 years, like 30+% at times throughout the season. I think we finished first in power play both 2 years in a row now, so let's try to keep that going. Second period now, that's 2-0 for us, and it's Stefan Backlund. For the first time in his career, he's getting a goal with the Winnipeg Jets, and if I can keep seeing goals from him in the slow sim, that's going to be huge, because this is exactly how we simulate our playoff games. So seeing guys be consistent in the slow sim is what we need for this team if we want to be repeat champions. There's Wade Stanton, the young guys, the new kids on the block, getting it done for us, and that is going to start off a 4-5. Oh my goodness, let's just have a blast, boys. A 5-0 victory in game number 1. And who is it behind the net but Artur Silovs, who gets a 40 save shutout. He learned a lot from Jesper Wallstedt in his couple of years being his backup, and hopefully that can transition to some good play in the slow sim, just like what Wallstedt was able to give us. Now, a week later, we're going to go see this Pittsburgh game, and why, you may ask? Well, that's an easy answer. It's because Pittsburgh is where we sent Cole Perfetti and the Targaryen Tero Karlathy. So this could be a crazy game. They're both of their returns to Winnipeg. Cole Perfetti was obviously our first line center for quite some time. So let's see if we can take him and the Pittsburgh Penguins down. We also have Pittsburgh's first round pick this year. So if they have a bad season, this could be a lottery pick maybe, which we haven't had ever, I think, in this franchise mode. So that could be nice to see. Here we go. First period, 3-1 for Pittsburgh. Of course, it is Tangradi, Tarvinen, and Jonathan Berggren, and then Eric Dowd gets 1 for us. All right, boys, it's okay. It's only the first period. We can come back. Let's win this period, then win the next period. We can go to overtime. Here we go. Win this period. Second period, and yikes, Elliot Patrick scores, but then Tangradi gets his second, and Goldman gets another one on Silovs. That's not what you want to see. Yeah, that's a tough game. Hopefully it doesn't slow our momentum too much. We did win 3 in a row before this. We are out shooting them quite a bit, though, so we're playing well. It's just a couple of bad goals perhaps going in and really stunting our momentum. We can't get on the horse. Maybe their goalie's having a really good night. I mean, he is having a great night, but You guys know what I mean. We get a goal, they get another one. 20 seconds later, all good. 6-3 loss there. Let's take a look at their stats. Did Koperfetti have a great game against us? He did have 2 assists against us in his return to our building. There's Tero Karlathy. He played 22 minutes. So yeah, Tero Karlathy, he's getting some time that he would not be able to get here. It makes sense for a trade for them. Getting Karlathy and Perfetti for 2 seconds. I think that's as fair as I can get really in this universe. So next up, boys, yeah, we're gonna go see Philadelphia here for Josh Morrissey's jersey retirement. There's a win against Chicago. There's another win. Okay, so good news in the calendar sim. We are 6-0. Actually, we're 5-0 in the calendar sim. We've gone and seen the Anaheim game and the Pittsburgh game, but these lines are doing great stuff for us. Let's see who's doing what before we go in to see Josh Morrissey's retirement. And Aiden Stempniak signs a big deal with us, 8 years, $7 million. He is above a point per game. Okay, Aiden. Okay, baby. I see you. I see you. That's good to see. How's this first line doing? Probably great. Ooh, it's not amazing, actually. 4 points for Svensson, -2. 4 points for Eklund, -2. And only 2 points for Sam Kennedy, -2. Okay, they'll find their groove, boys. Don't worry. They'll find their groove. Second line probably going to be doing well then, I hope. Howard Quenneville, 3 points, 7 games played, +1. Elliot Patrick, only 3 goals. Eric Dowd with 5 points, though. I'll take that. He's our leading point man for the forwards so far. Oh my goodness, this third line. Wade Stanton, 7 points. He's not even getting power play time either, boys. He could be great on the power play as an assist man, a distributor, but he's not even getting power play time. He has 7 points in 7 games. He's a +5. Shane Pinto, 5 points. Beautiful. I wonder what Stefan Backlund's going to have here. He's got 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points. How's his power play? Nothing on the power play yet. That's okay. I don't know if he's on the power play. Maybe he's not. And then the fourth line is also doing amazing things. They are scoring at a great rate. Rocky Bomek as well. A goal and 3 assists. Beautiful stuff. Defensively, Stempniak leading the way with 8 points. Then Corbin Mills only 1 point, but he is a +5, so he's still getting it done. He's playing 25.5 minutes as well. Second line is not great, actually. They're okay, but they're not amazing. And then the third line is doing their thing. Stefan Kreitzer, 3 points, +3. Same thing, Zach Jones, 1 assist, +3. Nice. Okay. If that third line's a plus, then I'm really not too worried about it. And goaltenders, how does Seelovs? Seelovs looks amazing, dude. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's been in for 2 games, and he also looks great. This is a promising start. I won't get too ahead of myself, but I'm liking what I see out of the depth that we have this year. And if our depth can be good, we know that our top lines can really get it done when they get the chance. They just gotta find their groove, find their chemistry. They'll get it done, boys. We just gotta believe in them. All right, but all that being said, it's now time to face the Philadelphia Flyers, and more importantly, it's time to put our former captain Josh Morrissey's jersey retirement up in those stands. We're not wasting any time. Some teams, they wait a couple of years, 4 or 5 years. Not us. We're putting Josh Morrissey's jersey in the rafters, mostly because then I won't forget about it 4 years down the road. But either way, we're going to do it right now. October 31st. Not even a year after he's retired, probably like 4 months after he's retired or something like that. October 31st. I wish we could go in and actually do it ourselves, but of course EA doesn't want to make us happy, doesn't want to improve their game at all. So Josh Morrissey, we thank you for your service, an emotional tribute here in the Winnipeg colors, and of course his former teammates in Philadelphia also feeling it a little bit here too. So the fans go crazy for him. He steps on the ice, drops the ceremonial puck drop, and we are off in the first period. That's going to be 1-0 for us. His former teammate Sam Kennedy gets one on Zarkov. Second period now. Has Josh Morrissey played with any of these guys? Yeah, he was partnered with Aiden Stempniak, I think, for a little bit, right? And now Aiden Stempniak is doing Josh Morrissey-like things, and that's how we come full circle here. Second period, that's going to be 2-0 for us. It's William Eklund in the first line, getting a goal on their goaltender once again. Third period is underway. Morrissey is up on his feet. The fans giving a standing ovation for him as number 44 gets raised up at the start of the game. And now here, halfway through the third period, the fans once again on their feet, trying to applaud their Winnipeg Jets to a win. And so far, so good. It's looking pretty good here, and that's going to be a second shutout for Artur Silovs. Perhaps it might have been Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the net. No, it wasn't. Silovs gets his second shutout of the year, and it's a second shutout you guys know what I'm saying. He got the second shutout, and that was in a game where we simulated it live action. You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? Anyways, William Eklund with 2 points. Their goaltender Zarkov, he made 33 saves, but that just wasn't quite good enough. His team couldn't find the offense for him, so we are off to an impeccable start here, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I am very happy with this. I wasn't sure what to expect from these lines, but if we keep playing like this, I am more than happy to keep simulating. I've got to do my scouts on November 10th, so let's just simulate past the Dallas game. Why not? We're playing great, so let's do it here. Vegas, that is a 5-1 win. LA, that's a 9-3 win. Oh my god, we can't... Okay, well, we did just lose, but we are 10-2 to start off this video. That's amazing. Let me go do the scouts, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, boys, and we're going to give Torsten Gunderson here a game and see how he does. He's going to be up against the Nashville Predators for his first ever game. He's away in Nashville. They're 7-3-1, so they're actually a pretty good team, but, you know, got to throw him into the deep end. His stats in the AHL have not looked that great. He's got I think he's got an 880 something save percentage and 2.84 goals against average or something like that, or roughly around there. It's just under a 900 save percentage. So let's see what he can do in the NHL. Maybe he'll simulate great. Who knows? But let's see. First period here. That's 3-2 for Nashville. Okay, Gunderson under fire early. But the boys, they've come out and they've tried to suppress that fire a little bit here. Let's go. We're going to need some offense for this second period now. Second period, that's 4-2 against Torsten. Okay, it's only one game, but let's keep this in the back of our minds here. There's Shin Pinto. Hang on, we're only down by 1 now. Can we hold the fort down? Can we hold the fort down for our rookie goalie? Can we help him out here? Can we get any goals? A power play opportunity for us? It's a big chance that we miss out on. Now 5 minutes remain. Power play for Nashville. We kill it off. Good job. Come on, boys. 1 goal, please. Somebody? Kumitsky, of course. Aiden Kumitsky is going to get a goal on Gunderson, and that's a 5-3 loss. Gunderson allows 5 goals on 23 shots. It's not the end of the world, but we would want to see a little bit more from him in his debut. It's okay, though. It's again, you know, could be worse, and we have some losses to take here, for basically, for lack of better words. We have a bit of ground to make up, although not really. Our division is so stacked. Look at this. The top 4 teams have between 20 and 18 points. The top 5 teams have between 17 and 20 points. This is crazy, bro. What is going on here? Oh my god, that's nuts. Okay, so let's simulate 2 games. I'm not sure if Torsten's going to get a game in. He probably won't, but let's see. 6-2 loss followed by a 3-2 win. Okay, we're still at the top of our division, so let's keep it rolling for now. Let's try to get on a bit of a win streak here. Buffalo, that's a 2-1 win. Good. Toronto, that's a 4-0 win. Good. And let's keep the chains moving here. This is good. This is a good little stretch so far. Okay, that's a shootout loss, but that's okay. Edmonton, that's a 7-2 win, and we have points in our last 5 straight. Let's make it 7 straight here. Up against San Jose, they're a decent team. That's a shootout win, and then another... Dude, we are on a mission. This could be a 60-win season if I don't mess around too much here. This could be a 60-win season here. How many wins do we have? We have 16 wins in 20 games? That must be on pace. Okay, boys, we are currently on pace for 62 wins on the season. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. We're 21 games in, we have 16 wins. That's about 76% win percentage, so let's keep it moving. And the Islanders are an amazing team. Let's see, do we have any... Okay, let's have Torsten play the Tampa Bay Lightning here, and then see if maybe that can help him out, because Tampa Bay is a rough team, so let's see if that'll help him. That's 2 losses in a row now, though, and now our chances of getting 60 wins are... Okay, 3 in a row? Yikes, let me see what just happened. Okay, Torsten has played 3 games, and hasn't looked great. He has not looked great. He has 1 win and 3. This is going to be his last game, all right? Up against Tampa, we're going to give him 1 more game. If he flops out on this, then we'll send him back to the AHL, and we'll put Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen back in there. But look at this. Eric Dowd, 23 points. Elliot Patrick, only 18. Okay. Howard Quenneville, only 13, but they're a plus unit. What about this third line? 20 points for Wade Stanton, 15 for Shane, and only 12 for Stefan Backlund, but no penalty minutes. Okay. Again, Wade Stanton has been the hero of this line. Eric Dowd's been the hero of this line. Who's been the hero of my first line? You guys stepped it up. Only 17 points for Sam Kennedy. There we go. William Eklund with 23. That's nice. And Matt Svensson with 22. Okay, Kennedy, we need to see a little bit more out of you. What about this fourth line here? They've come back down to earth a little bit. Rocky Bomick, 10 points in 24 games, sorry. Colby Stoll with 6 goals and 2 assists. That's kind of nice. But they've come a little bit further back down to earth. What about this defense? Stempniak, 19 points plus 50 and great. First line is doing their thing. Corbin Mills, only 11 points for Corbin Mills after his, 60-point season? Yeah, 11. I want to see more out of you, man. You can't have a 50 or a 40-point season after you just put up 60. That would be a big disappointment. Okay, the second line is coming through, and the third line is also coming through. Okay, the boys are playing well here. I don't really know what's going wrong. Maybe we got to get Torsten out of here. Okay, I want to give him one more game, though. I really do want to give him one more game. All right, and Rocky Bomick would now take 2 years at 4.95 or 1 year at 2.75. So I'm thinking the more we go throughout the season, the more realistic his expectations are going to get. My goal would be to sign him for like 5 to 7, maybe 5 to 8 years at like 3 or 4 mil. That would be nice, but $7.5 million is just a little too steep for a third/fourth liner. We could also play him on the second line maybe and see how he does there, but for right now, we're going to keep the lines that have a 16-7-1. We are still atop. No, we're not atop of our division anymore because the Coyotes are killing it. Wow, good for them. All right, fair enough. But let's see here. Up against Tampa Bay, Torsten Gundersson's in the net. They are 5-20. So if we lose this one, Gundersson's out. We're going back with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and we'll see how things roll. First period, that's 2-0 for us. Let's go. Corbin Mills and Howard Quenneville. Nice job, guys, on Maxime Punanov's. Second period now, 4-0 for us. Good stuff. Sam Kennedy and Colby Stoll get some goals. And then hopefully a game like this, even though he's only faced 12 shots, hopefully a game like this can really help with the confidence of Torsten. Unfortunately, he does get scored on by Drac Dre, but still he has a good save percentage for now. Let's try to shut that door for the rest of this period here. The game looks in hand. Now we just want to feed him a little bit of confidence, and maybe he can get on a bit of a win streak. Good stuff. 4-1 victory for us over a rough Tampa team. And sometimes you just got to have a nice game like that where you can relax, you can allow your young guys to play a little bit more, roll 4 lines a little bit more easily, and get into a bit of a groove, and hopefully that can give some confidence to Torsten as I'm going to play him for the Montreal game as well. All right, so here we are. We are at the Bell Center. We start a little bit of an Eastern Conference road trip here. Hopefully that won't be a problem, but let's see. First period against Montreal. They've got Cole Caulfield and Sean Farrell and Nick Suzuki and all these guys, so let's try to get past them. First period, 2-0 in our favor, and Torsten is playing well so far. Stefan Backlund and Colby Stoll. The bottom 6 is getting it done. Second period, now that's 4-0 in our favor. Okay, boys, let's go on a bit of a run here. Sean Farrell gets a goal on Gunderson. But that's okay. We could answer right back with a power play of our own, but we do not. But Matt Svensson's going to score even strength, and we are doing well so far now. This is a very good run that we're on here, and Torsten's getting a bit of NHL experience. He's getting a bit of confidence under him. Hopefully he can ride this out for as long as possible here. Will Hoffman gets another one on Guzda, and that's going to be a victory. 6-2. Cole Caulfield scores with 45 seconds left, but that's okay. Cole's a good player. You still made 26 saves, and you were not a star tonight, but that's all right. Torsten, what was your stats look like? 929 save percentage, only 2 goals against average. Good stuff for you there. Now, same thing here. Philly's a rough team. I'm going to put Torsten in the net, and we'll see how he does. All right, so once again, we'll jump into this game. We've been winning when we jump in, so I might as well try it one more time, see if it works. 3 times a charm, right? First period with Torsten in the net, 0-0. Okay, he's playing well. Got to find the offense. Second period now, 2-1 for Philadelphia. Unfortunate. Stempniak scores, but then Gunther and Michael Misa answer back for their team. And Torsten has been under fire here, and we've gotten a goal to tie things up at 2s. It's Elliot Patrick on the power play. Of course it is. Elliot Patrick known for his power play opportunities, but then of course Homer there gets a goal, but then Elliot Patrick answers right back with another one. We are tied at 3, going halfway, or I guess 5 minutes left in this third period. Now, can we push it to extra time? Or I guess it's a soccer term, but either way. Oh my god, that's a rough one. Marcus Pettersson scores with 8 seconds left to give Philadelphia the win, and we couldn't hang on for the last 10 seconds. Tough stuff out there. Aiden Stempniak gets 3 points on all 3 of our goals. All right, fair enough. Let's keep simulating. Let's hope that maybe that's prolonged stretch where I do a little bit of simulation, a little bit of management abilities, things like this. Hopefully that helps us out in the long run here. That's a 9-4 win. Nice, good stuff. Dane Brookbank's back. Let me edit these lines. All right, hang on a sec. I had to pause. Okay, 9-4 win followed by a 7-2 win, and we are once again on a win streak. Let's keep this rolling here, boys. 5-3 loss, tough. 3-1 loss, and of course, why do I open my dumb mouth? I should just shut up and let you guys watch the simulation. 2 losses in a row there. That's not great. All right, Dallas is a good team, New Jersey's a good team, Chicago's a good team, and Ottawa's an okay team. This is a rough week. Get me 3 out of 4 wins would be nice, but I'll take even 50%, We're We're not going to be hitting at the same clip as we were at the start of the season. I understand that. There's a win followed by a loss. Get a win here. Good win. Give me an Ottawa win. Nice. 3 out of 4 wins. Great stuff, boys. If we can keep getting 3 out of 4, I will be more than happy. That'll be beautiful. How many games? And we're 35 games in already. Man, we've played a lot of games here. Okay, so this is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So the last game against Seattle. Do we want to see a game before then? Nothing really too interesting here. Let's just go and see Seattle's game. I think this should be good. Let's try to get some wins on the board. That's a 5-3 win against Nashville. That's 3 in a row now. 4 in a row now. And Seelovs has been injured with a concussion. Okay, so we'll just replace him. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen will come in. Seelovs not out for too long, even though it's a concussion. Luckily, it's just a mild one, it seems. I'm not sure if that was a win against the Islanders. It was, so we were on a 5-game winning streak. Then we lose 6-1 to Dallas. Of course, we beat all the teams that don't really matter, right? We beat the Ottawa, the Columbus, the Islanders, all these Eastern Conference teams. And we did beat the Preds as well, which is a big win. But Dallas, how is Dallas doing? Yeah, they're 3rd place in our division, so they're knocking on the doorstep for sure. All right, and you know what? Seattle's not a good team. Maybe we can end with a game from Torsten here and see how he performs. So let's see. Yeah, we're at 53, so let's play the St. Louis game and see how he is. And Archer Seelovs is fully back, and that's a 3-0 loss. Let's get Seelovs back in the net here, maybe, depending on how these guys did. Eklund is point per game now. Good for him. Look at this. Howard Quenneville's already up to an 81 overall, low elite, not getting too many points. He only has 27 points in 40 games. Actually, that's pretty good. Eric Dowd, though, really being a hero out here. 39 points in 40 games. Elliot Patrick has also stepped it up with 39 and 40, so good to see. Howard Quenneville pulling up the rear, but plus 17 for the kid. So the first 2 lines are getting it done big time. 3rd line is still doing decently as well. So it's just the 4th line, huh? But even our 4th line is actually doing better than it was last time I checked on it. So good stuff, boys. Everybody's pulling their weight. Okay, and look at this. Torsten Gundersson's stats have come up big time. He's played 10 games. He has 5 wins, so he's gone 500. He has a 901 save percentage and 2.82 goals against average. Maybe it was a little too hard on the kid to start off. While Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he's only played 3 games, so, you know, take his numbers with a grain of salt, but he has horrible numbers. Let's get him out of there. Gundersson has not been a bad backup whatsoever. We can keep him in there for now, at least, until he becomes a real deficit to the team. We'll keep him in there for sure. Let's actually allow Gundersson to play the last game of this video here. We're about halfway through the season, so we'll let him play a bad Seattle team, and maybe he can get his confidence back like he did. Who was that? Against Tampa, right? Tampa was 5-20 or something? Yikes, that's rough. All right, first period against Seattle, 1-1. Okay, Stefan Backlund's going to open things up for us, but then Denton Matejchuk scores on Gundersson. Second period, a 2-1 for us. Stefan Backlund gets his 2nd of the night. And we are off to the races in the 3rd period here. It's a tight game, so we're going to need... Oh my gosh, good job, Howard. Howard Quenneville on the power play is going to score, but then Roger McQueen gets one back on Gundersson. I can't believe I know all these random made-up names. It's weird. I feel like my brain is just a big filing cabinet with all these names in there. But either way, 5 minutes left in the 3rd period here. Both goalies playing well, but Eric Dowd is going to find a way past Jeremy Swayman, and that's going to be a big win to give us... What is this? Win number... What? 27, 28, something like that? 3 stars of the night are Quenneville, Backlund, and Gundersson. Look at the youth in this 3-star list. Quenneville's like 21 or something. Backlund was a guy we picked up in free agency. Great shooter. He got 2 goals in this one to prove it. And that was our 27th win of the season. We are 55 points. That is the best in the league. But I'll show you guys a little bit more in depth here. We are 27, 13, and 1. If we took a look at the entire league, we're ranked number 1. We're scoring 3.83 goals for per game. That's got to be like up there. Okay, yeah, fifth place, 6th place, no, 5th place in the league at goals for per game. So our goals against are actually pretty good, 2.83. Wow, we are the best defensive team in the NHL despite our goaltending tandem being a little bit turbulent. You know, maybe not the steadiest overalls anyways, but they're playing very well, and the defense is helping them out as well. Power play percentage, what are we looking at? Only 19% power play. Okay, so it's come down from the historic 30% that it was at before. In fact, where are we? Like, this is 8th worst, 9th, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so we're in the upper half, but it's a bit close there. I'd like to see that. Oh my god, and the penalty kill is atrocious. We have the worst penalty kill in the league, so I gotta fix that, even though we should have a decent penalty kill. It should be halfway decent at least. So let me fix that. Last 7, we're doing great. We're amazing at home. We're all right on the road as well. But I got to fix this penalty kill and this power play. So think about that when we are looking at trades to make, boys. Next up here, we get to take a look at our players. So William Eklund is doing his thing on the first line. He is carrying those boys because they're not having a fantastic season. I mean, they're doing all right, but they're not putting the puck in the net at the same pace they were. But William Eklund is still doing great. Then Elliot Patrick, 22 goals, 18 assists for 40 points. He's on pace for a 44-goal season. That's good. Eric Dowd, wow, Eric Dowd with 40 points. He's become our tied for our second best point producer on our team at only 83 overall low elite. He's only 24 years old and he is doing amazing things for us. Beautiful. I'm glad that I brought this guy up like a couple of episodes ago. Man, that was a good call, and it's paying off in dividends right now. Matt Svensson, 37 and 41. I would love to see the 99-point Matt Svensson that we had a couple of years ago, but 37 is not horrible. You're on pace for 74 points. I might have to turn up the injuries as well. I did put them up, too. You guys saw me do that a couple of last episode, right? Yeah, I did it for the playoffs, and I kept it that way. So I'll put them up a little bit more, but I don't want to have to be making changes after like every week or anything like that. Next up, Aiden Stempniak with 37 points in 41 games. He has the same point pace as Matt Svensson. Aiden Stempniak proving himself to be an amazing defenseman, and maybe Aiden Stempniak and Corbin Mills will just be taking turns having amazing seasons, and I'll be down for that. Aiden Stempniak is 6'3", but look at this guy's skating category. 5-star skating for a 6'3", 22-year-old. Yeah, he can still grow for sure. Sam Kennedy with 35. Disappointing from Sam Kennedy. I wanted to see at least point per game after the contract we gave him. Howard Quenneville, though, rookie season on pace for 58 points. That is beautiful stuff. Wade Stanton on the third line has 26 points. He has 9 goals, 17 assists. That's great. Corbin Mills only 23 points. Again, love to see a little more out of him, but 23 is better than, I don't know, he's on pace for 46. That would be a second career year, but you know, we'd love to see him up in the 60s again. A little unrealistic, but anyways. Will Hoffman on pace for 42. That would be a big-time career year, so he's having a great season, actually. That would be a huge career season for him. He's at plus 20, 21 points already. Beautiful. Shane Pinto on pace for 42. He's just Mr. Consistency out here. Stefan Backlund, okay, he's not really carrying that third line as much as I thought he would be. It's more Wade Stanton carrying it, I think. Yeah, Wade Stanton with 26 points. More of Wade Stanton's third line, but hey, Stefan Backlund still 9 goals with him. He doesn't shoot the puck that much, that's why, Only 76 shots. Yeah, if he was up there in like the hundreds, maybe he would have 12, 13, 14 shots on net, but it's not the end of the world. Colby Stoll on the fourth line, 13 points for him, good. Wyatt Johnson, 13 points, and Rocky Bomick, 12 points. Okay, so the fourth line, they're doing their thing. They're all plus players as well. Stefan Kreitzer now is a plus 50. So Stefan Kreitzer and Zach Jones are playing amazing hockey together. That's great. Owen Power, only 10 points for Owen Power, but hey, he's a plus 50, and you can't complain too much about it in my experience. Goaltenders now, let's take a look. Archer Silovs is 19-8-1 with 4 shutouts. Oh my god, this guy's a shutout machine. A .916 save percentage and 2.68 goals against average. Those are veteran numbers. Those are starter numbers. That's amazing to see. Then Torsten Gunderson, 6-4-0, 903 save percentage, 2.74 goals against. Hey, I said if he is above a 900 save percentage, I'm not going to complain. So I'm not going to complain about him. He's only 74 overall, but he's getting it done at the NHL level. Just to show you guys what he did in the AHL so far this year, he was 4-2-0, 894 save percentage, 2.81. So he's had much better numbers in the NHL rather than the AHL. Maybe it's the defense in front of him, I don't know, but he's playing great hockey. Good for you, Torsten. You're staying on the roster for now. Checking out the entire league of skaters, what the heck? Andrei Svechnikov is on pace for over 120 points. Same thing with Caulfield. Maybe even the same thing with Clayton Keller. These guys are insane up here. What is going on? Oh my god, this is crazy. Tim Stützle's up here, dude. I can barely get a point per game player, but Braden Point, who's 37 years old, has 50 points in 36 games? I mean, these point totals are just absolutely ridiculous, man. Aiden Kumitsky has 32 goals in 36 games. What is going on? Jason Robertson with 33, Jaden Allman with 33. This is what happens when you get late in franchise modes. Just these power forwards just taking over. These power forwards and these snipers. Robertson's a sniper. Allman's a sniper. Sergei Tulopov's a sniper. Kumitsky's a power forward sniper. Like, all these snipers, man, they really get insane numbers. Really insane numbers. 30 goals in 30 games? Are you almost, I guess, 40 games, but are you joking me? That's absurd. All right, let's take a look at the defense here. Defensively, who is leading the league? Axel Sandin Palinka, the 81 overall guy in Tampa. Tampa's like the worst team in the NHL. Actually, is Tampa the worst team in the NHL? We'll take a look at it. But either way, he has more points than Cale Makar. Henry Muse is up here as an 83 overall in Dallas. Sure, what the heck? And it's not even like they're lighting it up in power play points. Okay, Palinka has 10 power play points, but Muse only 4 power play points. This guy has 34 even strength points. That's insane. But another guy who's up here is Aiden Stempniak with 37 points in 41 games. Beautiful. So he's the 4th best point defenseman in the NHL. Quinn Hughes, Liam Carlson with Boston, with Buffalo. Liam Carlson, our former player here, 5-star skating. He's doing his thing over there in Buffalo, playing it very well. Corbin Mills is having a bit of an off year, so the trade looks to be, or I guess, but the thing is, Buffalo, they just signed him, right? And actually, I'm going to take a look at that as well. So remind me, boys, I got to take a look at a couple of things here, both how Tampa's doing in the standings, to look at Axel Sandin Palinka, and then also I want to take a look at Seattle's draft pick situation. But either way, these are what they look like. Pretty normal names that we've come to know and expect up here. So let's see, where is Tampa in the entire league? I would assume they're dead last. Let me go to the entire league first. There we go. No, they're... Oh my god, Pittsburgh's dead last. Pittsburgh is dead last. Sound the alarms, boys. We have a code blue. Sound the alarms. We have odds on favorite for the first overall draft pick. Wee wee. Sound those alarms, boys. They are 12, 22, and 5. 2.6, they can't score to save their lives, and they're allowing so many goals. Oh my god. And Tampa's the second worst team in the league, and they have the best. They're going to get the Norris Trophy winner, and they're the second worst team in the league. Insane stuff. Okay, let me take a look at Seattle, because they must have some of Buffalo's picks. And while I'm doing that, I can also show you guys the trade blocks out here. This is crazy. What a crazy development here. So Seattle, where are they? Seattle is here. How many picks do they have? They might have taken already. They might have already taken the picks, though. They have Buffalo 7th. Yeah, they might have already taken the picks because they would have taken them for last year, huh? Ah, man, I didn't look at it fast enough. But it must have been a qualifying offer type thing. Hang on, not Buffalo. Or sorry, it is Buffalo, not Boston. Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, because they would have been for the 2033 picks, right? Because Buffalo, they have their 3rd for this year. They have their first, but they have their first for this year. Wouldn't it have been? It would have been their like next 2, 3, or 4 first overall picks, depending on when he was traded, when Liam Carlson was traded. So let me look at this. Hang on. When was Liam Carlson traded? I can't remember. What's his contract? Oh yeah, he's got a huge contract. So if they just signed him in free agency, that would be like the next 4 years worth of first round picks. I know that for sure. So they should at least not have their first round pick this year, but they do have it. So they must have traded for Liam Carlson and then signed him to a deal because they have all their first round picks. But yeah, so they must have traded for him. That's crazy, man. Wow. And that didn't show up in my I've ticked where it tells me to show blockbuster trades on the screen, and they didn't show me them trading for Liam Carlson. That's insane. Okay, fair enough. All right, but looking at the trade blocks around the league now, we will start in Anaheim. We will sort by overall as always and see. We need some penalty killers, and that's kind of it. We have an amazing team. I don't really want to make that many changes. Just maybe an old depth penalty killer, somebody like that. That could maybe help out, but I'm really seeing nothing out here. Jordan Dumont, nope, that's a horrible contract. What about Kevin Fiala? We don't need another sniper, though. 37 years old. No, we don't need somebody like Kevin Fiala. And we don't need a Grigory Denisenko. Dallas is a good team. They don't want to trade any of these guys. They're actually a pretty good team. They shouldn't want anybody on the block there. Edmonton now. Evan Bouchard, crazy contract. Vasily Podkolzin. I would take him if he was on like maybe a 1-year deal. He could be a good penalty killer perhaps for us. He's a big body. Yeah, he could be okay. Other than that, not seeing too much here. Kurashev, Broberg, maybe Kurashev, but he's a playmaker. I don't need a playmaker. It's tough because we're a great team. We don't need that much. We don't really need anything, actually. Dante Fabro, maybe if an injury happens or something like that. Good defensive awareness, good skater, decent size. Yeah, could be. Jackson Lacombe. Matthias Havlet is over here in Edmonton. How's he doing? Nothing. He's not doing very well, but he has great trade value for some reason, yeah. All right, Florida, LA with nothing, Minnesota with nothing, Montreal, not really anything, Nashville, no, the Devils, they have a medium elite player on their block, but, yeah, I mean, he was drafted 4th overall a couple of years ago. He hasn't really hit his potential yet, so Makes sense why they want to trade him away. Oh my gosh, the Rangers have Zach Werenski on the block, and he's not doing great for them. He's on their second line, it seems like. Great defense. Do we bring him back? Probably not. Making too much money for us, but interesting proposition. The Sens with nothing. The Philadelphia Flyers with nothing. Pittsburgh with nothing, even though Pittsburgh's like the worst team in the league. Yeah, they are the worst team in the league. It's crazy. Seattle, they have Matty Beniers on the block. Kirby Dach is on the block here in Seattle. Great defender. Great skater. He has decent point totals on a team that's not amazing either. So, Kirby Dach, also only 1 year on his deal. Extended salary, but we don't really have a place for him though. Where's he going to play? He's going to play second line. Whose spot is he going to take then? Howard Quenneville's spot? And we're going to give up on his rookie of the year run? I don't know. He's not playing third line. Our third line's great. And he's definitely, and if he would be playing third line, he would take away the position of Wade Stanton because he's the same player type, same playmaker. Or he would take away Shane Pinto's. No, we don't need a guy like Kurt. We don't really need anything, man. I mean, we could. You can always use a bit more, but I don't know what we need. Artem Zub? Nah, we don't need somebody like that. Weird. We're in a weird position here. Okay, Tampa's a bad team. Let me see. Hang on. Tampa's a horrible team. They'd be willing to trade away some guys. So let's just take a look, right? They have. I'll show you their contracts and their overalls here. Jan Jenik is here. Nick Abruzzi, Jack Drury, all these guys. They would be willing to trade any of these guys because they're a horrible team. Not the guys with the potential, perhaps. But some of these other guys here, Junior Callahan should be. He's playing second line time, and he is not doing well with it. Wow. But yeah, we could take away a guy like Jake Neighbors if we wanted to. Abruzzi, Jack Drury, Sachin, Jan Jenik maybe. All these guys, they're up for grabs. But yeah, they have a rough team here in Tampa. Tough team. All right, let's continue. Toronto, how is Toronto looking? I guess they're looking not great. Martin Necas, too much money. Svozil, we don't need him. We don't need Soderstrom. We don't need Liljegren. Although Liljegren is having a career year, 23 points. And actually, is it a career year? I think it is. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, he's doing well. Okay, Hepanyemi, too much money. Nick Hague, way too much money. Fraser Minton could be interesting. 6'1", two-way forward. Maybe he could help out our penalty kill if we needed him. Yeah, Fraser Minton's actually a sneaky good ad, I think. He could be anyways. Doesn't have an extension. Okay, interesting. Vancouver, David Yarchuk, way too much money. Olen Delaware, way too much money. Niels Hoglander, way too much. Karamaki, way too much. Okay, now we get to guys like Alex DeBrincat. My good buddy, Alex DeBrincat, 12 goals, 7 assists, but we don't really have a spot for him. He could play third line time, but then he's taken away Stefan Backlund's spot. Although Stefan Backlund hasn't been amazing, I think it's a bit of a forced move there. Like, it's a move that we don't really have to make, but we could if we absolutely wanted to. Like, if we just want to make a move just to say we did something, a guy like Alex DeBrincat could be something. Same thing with Yakov Trenin. He's always a reliable defenseman, but trading him to Vancouver is Vancouver. No, they're a bad team, actually, so it makes sense. Yakov Trenin's on the block. That makes sense, actually. But it's not going to be my first choice, you know. I'd rather... Bryce McConnell-Barker's here as well, classic. But no, I'd rather go ahead and pick up, like, a Fraser Minton instead of a Yakov Trenin, you know. Over here, Liam Kirk. Yeah, I don't like any of these guys, really. Washington, Quinton Byfield's out here in Washington. Same thing with Yuri Kulich, Adam Boakfist. Oh my god, Miro Heiskanen's making $14.275 million for the next couple of years, and he only has 16 points in 37 games. Our contracts look godly compared to these. Look at this. Dylan Strome, $12.420 million. Insane. Absolutely insane stuff here. Although Jameson Reese could be a good ad. 13 points plus 2 on a team that's really bad. Yeah, he's doing pretty well on a bad team. So that's how I like to think of things sometimes, is how good is a player doing on a bad team, right? Because then you can see if it's really the player's fault or not. But those are what the trade blocks look like. Once again, take a quick look at Rocky Bomek's contract, because I know some of you guys are interested in that. Shane Pinto is here as well, and he wants a very reasonable deal. Pretty much the exact thing we've been giving him for the last couple of seasons. Wyatt Johnston wants to re-sign now once again, and he wants a reasonable deal as well. Okay, boys, I love to see it. I love to see it. Wade Stanton doesn't want to come back, but boy, I would give you money, and I can. 3 years, oh my god, I kind of want to do this right now. 3 years at like $3.15 million, maybe even 3 years, $3 million for Wade Stanton, who is carrying our third line. I mean, he's not he's not like the only good player on it, but he has 17 assists. He has 26 points in 41 games as a third liner. That's on pace for 52 points as a third liner. That's amazing, man. Rocky Bomick, what are you doing, Rocky? Okay, being a little more reasonable now, 2 years, but still for 5 years, he still wants a boatload of money, so we'll have to wait on him a little bit longer. Other than that, Boris Nikulin here, 78 overall, listed as a top 6 defenseman, but I don't like his stats. Look at his puck skills, look at his senses, look at his skating. I don't like his stats very much. His defense is amazing, his physical is amazing, but everything else is not NHL ready. So, you know where we saw Stefan Kreitzer, it was like the only thing holding him back is um, kind of his like physical and things like that, and everything else was pretty base. Other like Boris Nikulin is kind of the opposite of that, where his defense and his physical is really boosting him. He's more similar to like a Joel Shepherd-esque player, right? Where his puck skills, his skating, his senses are bad, but his defense is amazing and his physical is amazing. So somebody maybe who we could look at, but not this season because our boys are already playing amazing stuff. Our third line defense especially is doing great things. So that's what that looks like. Artur Silovs does not want an extension. He wants a real contract, which makes sense because he's playing great so far. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, feel free to give it a like and a comment to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. New videos come out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.